Hello guys, so in the last video we took a look at the saber ground version of the Forester Gen 2. This time we're taking a look at the Scandi convex version of the Forester Gen 2. So as you can see, this one comes with a very nice OD green Kydex sheath, very similar to the sheath of the other version of the Forester. So let's take a look at the knife. So obviously the biggest difference is the grind. So this knife comes with a Scandi grind with a secondary convex edge. So the dimensions are the same. The overall length is still 8.7 inches, blade length 4.2 inches. The thickness is still 0.149 inches or 3.8 millimeters. But as I mentioned, this has a lower grind. So we could say it's a lower saber. Some people call it Scandi, but this one has a secondary convex. The pure Scandi grinds tend to be a bit weaker with the edge. If you add a secondary convex here, it's going to make it way more robust, but it'll still slice very well and be ideal for all your bushcraft tasks. So the steel for this one is also SK85 steel at 56 to 58 HRC. The finish on this one is the satin finish, but you can also get it with the dark wash finish. So that would be an oxide finish. And the handles are G10. The options are either this orange and OD green, or you can get the black and OD green versions as well. All right, so I've been using this knife for a while, didn't sharpen it yet. So let's take a look at sharpness. Still super sharp, no problem. So let's try cutting different ropes. Here we have some paracord, so let's take a look at that. No problem here. Easy. Got some other synthetic rope here, some hard plastic. Let's cut that. No problem. Here we got some thicker rope. Easy. And finally some natural cordage here, some sizzle rope. Yeah, no problem. Alright, so I went on to do some further testing. We started by batoning. As you can see, this is a pretty big seasoned piece of wood, and I had to hit the tip of the knife. No problem, went through it. And even though there were a few knots in there, it went through very easily. So I went on to prepare some feather sticks, and as can be expected, because of the saber grind, it's very easy to find the correct angle to make some very fine shavings. So one important tip when you're doing feather sticks is that you have to work the angles. So basically, every time you create a feather, you also create a high point, and then you use your knife to go down that high point to create the next feather, and then turn your piece of wood around and go down the next high point. So the Forester Gen 2 comes with a very sharp spine. As you can see here, it's very easy to make some very nice sparks. And when you have very fine feather sticks, you can just line them up with your ferro rod. So because of the Scandi grind, the knife bites very deep in the wood. So it's super easy to prepare some notches, and it's a great knife to do some carving, etc. So the tip of the knife is robust, but it's still super sharp. As you can see here, it's great if you want to drill a hole in your piece of wood, especially when you're preparing the divot for your bow drill fire. So the handle of the knife is super comfortable. Here you can see it used in the chest lever grip. You can exert a lot of force to remove some big pieces of wood. So often knives with a Scandi grind have a fragile edge that can easily damage itself or chip. But because of the secondary convex, the Forester Gen 2 is very robust. Here we're doing some cross grain batoning with absolutely no damage to the edge. Alright, so in conclusion, definitely the Forester Gen 2 is a great small to mid-sized knife. It has a lot of potential. You can use it for many different functions, bushcraft, camping, at just general use. The question is, which grind is better for you? Really depends what you're going to use it for. I think if you mostly want a bushcraft knife, maybe the Scandi grind will be better for you. I think it maybe bites into the wood slightly better. maybe slightly better at making feather sticks as well. If you want more for general use camping knife, I think maybe the high saber grind would be better. It slices a bit better and definitely better for food prep as well. So both have their pros and cons, but you can't go wrong with either of them. If you're interested, both the Scandi and the saber grind version of the Forester Gen 2 will drop on the Worktuff Gear website on April 10th.